Welcome to Expert Financial Enterprise. I'm Ty Smith, your credit expert. We're so excited that you've decided to get on the road to financial freedom. Today, we're going to talk about credit, how credit scores are determined, what affects your credit score, but most importantly, how we can improve your credit scores. Did you know that 80% of credit reports have errors on them? Typically what happens, a creditor may report your particular debt and charge it off. Instead of placing the date that it was 4 months delinquent, they place the date that they've sold it to another collection agency. And that's illegal. A credit is supposed to remain on your file for 7 years. However, if that particular collection agency put the debt that it received in its office, it now has become a 15-year debt and is 7 years past the statute of limitations. Also, there are 20 million people who have credit files. The credit bureaus are allowed a 30% margin of error, and that's a lot of people who will have errors on their credit report. Typically, most people believe that the credit will fall off in 7 years. Well, it doesn't just happen that way. Unless you're checking your credit on a regular basis, there are things that are on your file all the time that no one is aware of. And that's where we come into play, to help you remove those items that should have been past the statute of limitations already. What is a credit score? Your scores are determined by 3 credit bureaus. That's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. If your scores are 760 or higher, that's considered to have excellent credit scores. If they're 620 or below, that's considered poor credit scores. What affects your credit score tremendously? A late on your mortgage, a late on your student loan, a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, or a judgment filed against you can affect your credit score tremendously. We are a legitimate credit repair organization. But one thing I like to do is tell people how to detect that other companies are scams. Number 1, they ask for money up front. According to the Credit Repair Organization Act, you cannot ask for money up front without executing services first. That is against the law. Second, they promise to fix your credit in 10 to 15 days. Now think about it. The credit bureaus have 30 days to reply to your dispute. So how could they possibly fix your credit in 10 to 15 days? Like Grandma always said, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Third, they offer to just change your Social Security number. They say you have identity theft. You would then file that with a police department and take that report and take it to the Social Security Administration. The problem with that is if anyone ever found out that you did not truly have identity theft, that's a felony and up to 20 years in jail. It's just not worth it. Bad credit can cost you a lot. It can stop you from getting a job, a promotion, and even a supervisory position. The reason why is because they believe if you have bad credit, you can't manage your finances, which means you can't do your job. They also believe if you have bad credit, you're more likely to steal. Now that doesn't make sense. Just because someone has made bad financial choices does not mean they have bad morals. I personally have had bad credit in my life, but I've never stolen a thing in my life. Another cost of bad credit is thousands of dollars being thrown away every single day. Let's say you were to purchase a car with bad credit. They're going to give you a 29% interest rate. Well, someone else who has excellent credit is going to get a 5% interest rate. When you guys both buy the same identical car, one person's credit score is going to cause them to have a $600 car note, and another person's credit score is going to cause them to have a $200 car note. The person with bad credit over the course of 5 years will have paid $15,000 more for the same car. The same thing with the house. You get a high interest rate because of bad credit, or you get a low interest rate because of good credit. Over the course of 30 years, you would have paid $150,000 more than your neighbor who had excellent credit. So think about it. You got $15,000 more because of the car, $150,000 more because of the house, and all the other places you use that are subprime lending are costing you thousands and thousands of dollars for the rest of your life. It is much cheaper to just improve your credit over the course of a few months. The other 30% of your credit report is your debt ratio. That means how are you spending money on your debt? For example, my best friend has a credit card of $4,000. What happens is most creditors report to the credit bureau on the 15th of the month. Well, she pays her credit card on the 30th of the month. And what happens is it looks like your credit card is maxed out. In actuality, it's not maxed out, but you're paying past the day that they report to the credit bureau. Now, in order to be able to have excellent credit, the first thing you must know is the formula, how a credit score is determined. For example, solve this equation. 9 plus 2 equals. Now, the reason why you were able to solve that equation is because somewhere down the line, someone told you that anything above 9, you had to carry the 1. If you weren't told that formula, you would have wrote 311 as your answer. That's incorrect. That's not the correct formula. Well, today I'm going to teach you the formula to get excellent credit. Number 1, remove negative items. Secondly, we'll help you to add positive items. How we do that is typically we will ask you to get a particular secured card. Now, not all secured cards are created equally. We will tell you specifically which ones to get because there are some secured cards out there that do not report to the credit bureau. That's a waste. There are some that report to the credit bureau, but they report quarterly. We need the ones that report every single month. Then there are some secured cards out there that typically charge you a $100 processing fee, which also doesn't make sense. So when we send an email link to you, we'll tell you specifically which credit cards to get. Next, it's very important to keep the inquiries low. The reason why is because let's say you're in the airport and they have a cute little stuffed animal. They say if you apply for that credit card, you'll get it for free. Well, it's not really free. What happens is if you get too many inquiries, it lowers your score. So let's say you were to go purchase a car and your score is 20 points below someone else. Over the course of 5 years, that teddy bear cost you $1,200. It would have been cheaper to go to Toys R Us. Finally, it's very important to pay your bills on time. For example, that particular secured card that you received, if you pay it on time every single month, over the course of 3 to 4 months, that alone can give you 30 points. Now, I tell all my clients that if you're not very good with paying your bills on time, it's very important that you set it up for automatic debit. Simply because if you get your scores up 30 points from those secured cards, but you pay it late, it'll drop you 30. Therefore, it's very important that you always pay your bills on time to improve your credit scores. Number 1, remove negative items. Then add positive items. Keep your balances low. Stop the inquiries, and then most importantly, pay your bills on time. That's how you'll get excellent credit scores. Well, how do we repair credit? We launched Disputes Against Your Credit Bureau. We launched 15 per month, which is 5 per bureau. Typically what happens is once we send the letter out, you get a letter back from the 3 credit bureaus within 30 days. Depending on what it says, if they say that they validated all as you, we then will go to step 2, which is called the Fair Debt Collection Act. That means that we will validate the debt. We'll send out a letter to them requesting that they validate that that particular debt is yours, because the burden of proof is on them and not on you. Let's say, for example, you have a collection on your credit report for $200. By the time I send a letter out to them requesting that they validate that debt, the staff that it would take for them to actually get that letter out to you is more than it would for the cost of the debt. So at that point, typically, they'll just delete it. Expert Financial Enterprise is different than many other credit repair organizations. We offer face-to-face interaction, unlimited telephone interaction regarding your personal credit file. We help to remove negative items. We help to add positive credit items. We do personal debt negotiation. We teach you how to keep your credit scores up once we've improved them. We help you move towards the road to financial freedom. Expert Financial Enterprise is unique, being that we offer such an amazing financial growth program. Thank you for your interest in Expert Financial Enterprise. We would love the opportunity to improve your credit scores today, to be able to buy a home, buy a car, investment property, or simply live with excellent credit. Remember, bad credit is only bad if you choose to stay there. I'm Ty Smith with Expert Financial Enterprise. Let us help you get on the road to financial freedom today.